I believe that every single one of us is beautiful, and we are the ones who are primarily responsible whether we want to speed up, slow down, or even reverse the process of aging. Did you know that there are secrets behind aging? And this woman over here is 45 years old. You want to know how? My name is Fuad and welcome to Med Talk. I'm so excited for this video. I hope you guys are. So let's begin. The first theory is called the free radical theory. And this theory is very famous and widely believed by doctors, medical students, and pretty much everyone around the world. So the free radical theory is simply saying that free radicals are the ones that cause damage to our DNA, lipids, and proteins. And this makes our cells go out of control, they become crazy, they forget who they are, and they start aging. So free radicals are atoms that basically lack an electron on their outermost shell. And they hate the fact that they lack an electron, so they tend to steal electrons in order to feel full. But where do they steal it from? They take it from DNA, lipids, and proteins, and various structures within our bodies, and this is what causes the cells to become old. Free radicals are pretty much generated within our body, but not as much as the ones we encounter from the environment. For example, you can get them from radiations like X-ray, nuclear waste. Some sort of medications could also allow the body to generate free radicals. Certain foods like the ones who are processed, junk foods, smoking is a big factor that produces free radicals within the body. The solution for free radicals is simply by consuming antioxidants. And antioxidants are the opposite of free radicals because they have one extra electron while free radicals have one less electron. So they tend to neutralize each other, and therefore free radicals don't become harmful for our bodies once we have abundant amounts of antioxidants. If you didn't know, antioxidants are rich in foods like fruits and vegetables, herbal tea, blueberries, and in many different vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin D, and vitamin A. To understand how free radicals are actually bad for you, think about this apple. It's pretty much a healthy apple, but if you leave it in the open air for like an hour or two, it's going to become like this. This is the non-oxidized form of the apple, meaning the one that free radicals would not attack. And this one over here is the ones that free radicals were able to oxidize. And the same is true for our bodies. If our proteins, DNA, and lipids were able to oxidize, they change from something like this to something like this. And that's what we don't want. I'm glad I finished up with the first theory. Now I come to the second theory, which is the more up-to-date theory and which is widely accepted by most of the professors around the world. This theory was made by Professor David Sinclair. Professor David Sinclair was able to find about this theory by testing the two modes of living that bacteria was able to use. He was able to find one mode of living in bacteria that when conditions were perfect, like nutrients were available and the temperature was optimal, those bacteria were able to grow and reproduce. But they had the longevity genes, which he discovered to be inactive. On the other hand, the bacteria that was deprived of food and put into hot or cold extremes of temperature, he was able to find that those bacteria are not growing and reproducing, they were turning on the genes that are responsible for repairing the DNA, proteins, lipids, etc. And therefore, their longevity genes were on. So longevity genes are basically the genes that are responsible for turning on or off the genome, and we call that in biology epi-genetics. And those basically are responsible for making proteins, and those proteins repair any damage that can happen to the DNA. For example, misfolding of proteins, mutations of the DNA, and shortening of the telomeres, which cause the cells to age. Professor Sinclair is basically saying that those epigenetics which turn on or off the genes are the ones responsible to prevent aging. They do this by turning on the repair proteins that are responsible for fixing mistakes like DNA damage, mutations, telomere shortening, misfolding of proteins, and all of those factors and many other factors speed up the process of aging. He was also able to discover that the longevity genes are also present in humans, monkeys, and mice, not only in those bacteria. Professor Sinclair was able to find out that not only those bacteria are the ones who contain those longevity genes, as humans we also do contain them, and monkeys and mice seem to have them as well. Professor Sinclair was able to test longevity genes among those two mice. Now this mice over here is the mice that was deprived out of food, placed into cold temperatures, and was deprived of amino acids. As you can see, this mice over here looks much younger than the mice over here, although they were born on the same day. Professor Sinclair was able to discover the difference because this mice over here developed gray hair, and it wasn't having the activity as much as this mice was. This mice was much more active and much more healthy. On a molecular level, he was able to find that the genes who are responsible for repair and survival, which prolonged the age of those mice, were able to be turned off whenever we have high levels of carbohydrates, amino acids, and whenever we don't have extremes of cold temperature. So for example, if you're sitting in a room comfortable with that temperature, eating sugars and fats and amino acids all day long, you are turning off the genes that are responsible to repair and make your proteins survive in a healthy way and therefore live longer. If you want to give your body a chance to live longer and healthier, you want yourselves to work on themselves, basically by repairing the proteins that are misfolded, telomeres that are shortening, or any possible DNA damage that can be happening from free radicals. So you want to turn on the epi-genetics that are responsible for repair. You may do this by fasting 2 times a week, according to Professor Sinclair, and I recommend you may fast on a Monday or a Thursday, and this will turn on the genes that are responsible for your survival. So therefore, you may prolong your life, live healthier, whenever you turn on the genes that get triggered by hunger, feeling of uncomfortable when the temperature is either hot or cold, exercising, pushing yourself to the limits, in any conditions that puts your body under a lot of stress. Now, coming to this woman over here, she is 45 years old. I wasn't able to believe this at first, but after seeing too many articles, too many newspapers, yes, unfortunately or fortunately, this woman is 45 years old. So without her knowing, she was following a very healthy lifestyle that was pretty much triggering both of the theories that I just mentioned in this video. The first one is simply by consuming fruits and vegetables in high amounts of water. And this is what the woman is doing. And by doing such things, she's preventing the free radicals from damaging our DNA. As I said, antioxidants are abundant in fruits and vegetables. And she was having those antioxidants, and that was protecting her from free radicals. So therefore, her cells wasn't generating as much as free radicals as what an average human being would do. Now, the second method is by fasting. Now, fasting does not only reduce the risk of you getting exposed to those free radicals from red meats to processed foods to junk foods to medications to whatever, but it also triggers those epigenetics which are responsible to increase your survival proteins, and of course by exercising strenuously, meaning that pushing yourself to the limits day by day, you're also activating those genes that are responsible to repair damages of your body. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you would love to know about any topic in the world, please let me know in the comments down below. And I was thinking to myself, I want to do a video about the science of having a great appearance. If you would like to hear about that, please tell me in the comment below as well. Make sure to click this button over here to be able to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my upcoming content. I hope you have an amazing day ahead. Please make sure to stay happy and healthy and always open to the science around you.